Now we're headed past the South Shore Mall and the burned-out Safeway building, and the condos where Eugene Gallipagus keeps all his poodle hunting equipment, and himself in an apartment he has painted with a camouflage motif of green and beige. That place with the bicycles, garlanded by roses, belongs to Lynette and Susan, and they are asleep in one another's arms at this time of the evening. That skyscraping monstrosity there is the cinema multiplex on Santa Clara, with its equally as ugly parking garage. That strip of lights down there, about 3 blocks long and 1 block wide, that is downtown. So, as we swing hard now over the disputed bicycle bridge, and the place where Percy Worthington Booksplat keeps his two-toned immaculate 1929 Mandeville Brat Coupe, we skirt by Bay Farm Island, and so finally over San Leandro Bay, to get high enough here to really scope out the view. And what a view it is! The glittering lights ramp up both sides of High Street to the slopes of Oaktown Hills off in the distance, and off to the left, that long streak there is Solano Avenue, passing through Albany and North Berkeley, the flats of West Berkeley, University Avenue, and terminating in the university itself, and displaying from here the campanile commemorating a former politician. This tower is sometimes referred to as Hoover's last erection. Further south to see Pill Hill, Summit Hospital, the Tony Heights of Piedmont, and the string of pearls that surrounds Oaktown's jewel, Lake Merritt. Raise your eyes towards heaven. That shining spire there up on the hill is the gold-plated cupola of the Mormon Temple, across the street from the Greek Orthodox Church. Your eyes are pulled towards the perfection of beauty, grace, and learning combined, Mills College. And that helicopter is landing on the roof of the East Bay Trauma Center called Island Hospital. Below us now is the Oakland Coliseum complex with its arena and glaringly lit stadium. Now we are gliding over San Leandro, slowly climbing all the while. There's the Oaktown International Airport on Bay Farm Island. We'll keep well away from the flight paths there and keep over the old Route 17, the infamous Nimitz Freeway. San Leandro, with its little malls and its well-kept streets, seems to have a sort of pride of place. Once it was a coach stop on the way from one place south to another place north, or vice versa. In many ways it still is. We pass the cutaway of 580, heading out to the east, and move quickly over Hayward's unruly mix of industrial and parkland areas. Then we are to the endless expanse of Fremont and the huddled watchfires of Eugene Shrub's occupation camps in Newark. Sometime around 2001, Eugene Shrub, president of the Bums, gathered a great number of bums who seemed to congregate around and in Sacramento. And with this army invested Newark in search of WMDs, weapons of mass voodoo, in the form of rabid poodles. No such WMDs were found, and many have accused the bums of concocting a story about them to provide an excuse to raid the town's liquor supplies. Furthermore, since Newark possesses neither city hall nor mayor nor any sense of civic pride, it was some months and perhaps years before anyone living there realized that the strips of linoleum tile stores, auto body shops, and 20th century direct had been occupied by a foreign army. Basically, nobody in Newark gave a damn, and neither did anyone else in California, which has caused President Trump significant grief. Now we are swinging by Coyote Creek Alviso Slough, and the location of what had been the largest and most profitable mission in Alta California, Mission San Jose, the green slope of European grasses going up the hill there to the east from the old chapel to the scattered rooftop trees. And so, with accelerating speed, we zip over Silicon Valley, formerly location of miles and miles of citrus groves, now home to Sun Microsystems, Cisco, Western Digital, Intel, AMD, and other giants of the computer world. You will notice to the left the creeping fog as it glides like a Tolkien dream over the coastal range, while we snick over the great salt flats of Palo Alto and its bifurcated worlds of the University of Stanford with its huddled mansions, and the East Palo Alto world of check-cashing groceries, liquor stores, pawn shops, and mariachi bars. The weird patterned lights that look like military zones down there are the circular logic subdivisions of Foster City. Then Burlingame's metro suburb world hugs the hills until we pass the great immense layout of SFO, which forces us over San Bruno, and then the folded hills of South City, with its sign evocative of Hollywood, its elbows on the table and its blue collar showing proudly, before scooting over the brief city of stars, Brisbane. Now we are high enough to see both sides of the coastal range that terminates in the swollen wrist of the hills on the south border of San Francisco, scalped by old quarries clad with houses made of ticky-tack, and they all look the same on the western side, but still shielding a family of kit foxes, some deer, and the beautiful Mariposas. Right about now, I think, right about now, we pull the red lever. Yes, that
No.
one.
You're
And
crazy.
go straight up. Hold firmly onto your lunch. If you've been following in Google Earth or some similar thing at home, you should see the peninsula of San Francisco looking like a great fist, and the San Francisco Bay shining weirdly in colors of blue and green from the oil spill of the Costco Busan a few months ago. Those are the green hills of Marin to the north with Mount Tam, and that spread out to the east is the valley with its string of jewels sparkling along the 580 corridor, Castro Valley, Pleasanton, Livermore, and the isolated splotch of Modesto, city of water, far off. Then it's up, 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 trailing our flicking tail of our retinue ever higher, the Farallons, Redding, Sacramento, and far away to the south, the immensity of Los Angeles, home to 35 million souls. Higher still in the spider web of the U.S. flickers all along its coastlines and borders. Higher still, and picture this: a bright blue ball spinning in space, dizzy with eternity. Pause a moment and consider this place. A few clouds, some land, some sea. Slowly it revolves in the great, immense darkness all around it. It is a world hell-bent, it seems, on destroying itself utterly, so that no possibilities can ever remain. Dour obtuseness, stubbornness, and insistence, while the spangle of stars all around. Are there any such worlds as this? Can anyone see, at this remove, the human face? Probably not. It seems that those who look down habitually from these heights just cannot see humanity. Oh, that's it for reflection. Time to go home. You there and back. Hold on. So down, spiraling down we go from Baja to Crescent City, hop over Redding and snow-gowned Shasta, out to the black lava desert Modoc over all tourists. There's Pyramid Lake over there. We bank south over the little town of Stronghold, and suddenly it's Tahoe glittering by this crescent moon. And we were really going quite fast now along 395 Mono Lake, scooting over Owens Valley to hurl around Death Valley in the broad Mojave Desert to sling in over the smelly Salton Sea and the sad Calpatria State Prison before winging up over Palomar, San Diego, out around Catalina Island before charging back up the coast, flipping over Santa Barbara, the Tehachapi Mountains, to fire up over Hearst Castle, historic Big Sur, to course along the valley once the Serengeti of North America, to arc back over the dry slopes of Mount Diablo to Concord, Walnut Creek, Benicia, Vallejo, moving faster than the speed of sound now, until Erica throttles back hard enough that a retinue of readers flings like a great whip out over San Pablo Bay, with the old Portuguese fishing village of Sausalito off to the right. And that's the light of the Twin Brothers Lighthouse at Point Richmond, and those squat ovoids are the great oil tanks of Chevron. All along down there at the left to the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, and then we are over the maze. Busy even on Sunday at midnight with traffic passing now the great Star Wars steel cranes of the Port of Oakland, fourth largest in the country, until we are coming up now on the broad expanse of the old Navy Base airfield. It's the island, home again in the mouth of the estuary, and the island is coming up fast. And there's Lincoln Street, and there's Pagano's Hardware again with the old Same Place bar just beyond, and the Island Life offices with its narrow roof, and its roof structure with its ominous microwave antenna. We are going so fast we just zip on by and return, not 100 feet above the stately oaks that line Santa Clara, moving at the slower pace of some 200 miles per hour, and zip by the little cinema which occupies a building that once was a mortuary. Good way to use a former mortuary and show movies. And you know what we think at this time? Just how is Erica going to land this contraption with 126,000 people in tow on a roof that is just 120 feet long? Never mind. Well, that's just the way it is on the island. Have a great week.